It's Flow Hive time in the fall. Hey everybody, David Burns, good to be with you today. Got a Flow Hive here and been running it all year. Harvested honey out of it a month or two ago. And what I need to do now is get this thing ready for winter. So what I want to do today is try to decide what I want to do with this honey super on top. I don't want to overwinter with it. Now, Flow Hive says, the company says, that if there's honey in it, you can overwinter it with the honey up there. You just got to remove your queen excluder. Which I might do. I'll have to see. I kind of like the idea of taking it off. Now, the best scenario would be that it's ready to harvest again. And it's all capped over. So I think what I'll do is take the top off. Let's open it up. Let's see the condition of the honey super frames to see if they're capped over and ready to harvest. If they are, it's going to be heavy, isn't it? But I'm going to pick it up, put it on my golf cart, take it back maybe inside a building where we can just turn the crank down there because I don't want to put it back on empty. And that way I can leave my 2 deeps on for winter, and then I'll put my winter bee kind board on, and then I'll put my top cover on top of that. So ideally I want to overwinter with the 2 brood deeps, and I want to feed on my winter bee kind boards and then have this top on. Now if this top doesn't cooperate with my winter bee kind sizing, I'll just use a regular plastic top and store this for winter. So let's open her up. All right, got my inner cover, got a little black jumping spider walking around in there. Everything this time of the year got a lot of propolis on it, kind of sticky. And one of the things that we often talk about is the propolis seal. Like if you break the propolis seal too late in the year, they may not be able to seal it again. And what we mean by that is these boxes that are glued together by the bee's own glue, propolis, they may not seal again and stuff could blow apart. But even on a sunny winter day, there's usually enough heat that will cause the propolis to grab again, you know. But I know some people often feel uneasy about breaking a propolis seal too late in the year. I never do because I know it's going to seal again. Yeah, there's a lot of propolis on this thing. It hardly won't let go. Look at that. Bees will gather propolis from different plants and trees, and it's sticky stuff that they will use and bring back to the hive. It's not anything that they make on their own. This is like Gorilla Glue. Wow. I feel like I'm going to break my hive tool. There we go. Now it's letting go. Oh, isn't that beautiful? Look at that. Oh, look at that beautiful propolis. Yeah, all down through there. Part of the bee's immune system, actually. Got some on the underside of the inner cover. Got a small hive beetle there. There it is. Oh, shoot, did I miss it? I almost got it. There's a couple in there. I got one there. I don't want to hurt a bee. Okay, I got another one. That's 2. I got one hiding under some bees up here. That's 3. Okay, that's good. Oh, that smells good. Smells like propolis and it smells like wax and it smells like honey. Hey, let's face it. Beehives smell good, don't they? I mean, really. If you're like me, I was a kid when I was young and I got a new Christmas present. I remember one year, way back in the 60s, my mom and dad got me and my brother a set of Radio Shack walkie-talkies. They had that big antenna that went way up here, which we broke trying to put it together real fast. What was the name brand of Radio Shack's products? Do you remember, Pat? Shoot, they had a name brand. But anyway, the walkie-talkies were great. But anyway, I opened up the box of walkie-talkies on Christmas Day, and the first thing I did was smell that electronics. You know, I love the smell of fresh electronics. But anyway, I love the smell of beehives, the propolis, I love the smell of the bee smoke. I love the smell of honey, wax. Come on, I know some of you are watching going, yeah, I love the smell of bees. All right, last time I figured out an easy way to get these frames out of a Flow Hive. So I think I just use a little bit of digging underneath this. There we go. Oh, and then prying it up over here. I always feel like I'm going to break a big chunk of plastic off. That would be awful, wouldn't it? And you know, there's so much propolis in this one. All right, it's coming up, it's moving, but boy, I can tell it is sticky, sticky, sticky because of the size of that, but it'll work. We'll pull it up. Okay, things are moving. There we go. Okay, it's coming up. Sticking to propolis. Yeah, we just definitely have to look. So you can see some small hive beetle that are around up in here, but there's a lot of them under the bottom here. So that's one of the disadvantages. It's hard for me to feel like I can, this is all hard plastic. It's hard to get in there and kill small hive beetle. And it's hard to put a trap in these because there's no space. If you look here, I can't put an oil trap between them either. And there's not a lot of room to put the Swiffer pad cloth in here either. You know, it's hard to do a lot of beetle trapping in these frames. A little capped over on that side, but the rest is not. So let's just see what the rest of them look like. The second frame from the wall is not capped over on my side and not capped over on your side, but it is pretty full of nectar. Yeah, I like it. Let's look at the next one. So we could also make a decision of maybe there's enough nectar in here that we can leave it on for winter. Know what I mean? It doesn't really have to be capped over. It helps, but it may not have to be. They could still utilize it, but let's smoke them again. All right. See if we can lift this Flow Hive frame up. There we go. Nothing on my side capped over. And you're looking at not much of anything capped over there. Yep, so all in all, we have a couple of choices. We could leave it on there, take the inner cover off, or the queen excluder off, and just let them go up in here and eat what they've got. I'm kind of liking that because it's less work for me to have to do something. I just have to remove the queen excluder. The other thing we could do is get the bees off, take this back to the shop, or we could leave it here, I guess, but we could extract out whatever nectar is in there and then feed that back to the bees by an open feeder somewhere. But that's not going to help so much this colony as it'll help all the bees. All the bees will eat it. So if the bees have worked hard to put this up here, I'm going to look at this one and make my final decision. So hang with me just for a second here. Let's see what this looks like. That's still too stuck. Let's work that up a little bit. Flow Hive. This one's heavy. Heavier. And it's right in the center. Got a little honey on the bottom down there. So these are pretty full of nectar. If you can see, the nectar is almost all the way up to the edge of the frame there. So these aren't bad to leave on here. That's my decision. Leaving it on there. Gonna let the bees eat it all winter long, let them utilize what they have down below and then work their way up in here. And that way I'll have it on here come spring. I won't have to quickly get out here and put it on there. Now let me show you something about the Flow Hive frames. Let me put some smoke on there. But if you look, there is a plastic wall between each of these frames. Now it's important that you match up that little thin piece of plastic, because if you don't, you're going to make a gap somewhere. They can go this way, and so you want this piece, these two plastic pieces right here form a wall. Do you see there's a plastic notch or an extension, and by putting them together you form a wall. So you just want to go through and make sure that these don't overlap and create a gap. That's what we're trying to do, is make sure those fit perfectly. Well, let me show you an example of how it can go wrong. If you had one of them that was too far forward and one that was too far back, it could slip behind each other, and then that would cause a spacing somewhere else to be off, I guess. I mean, it would seal the gap there, but it would create a bigger gap that would catch up somewhere else, and it might leave a gap that big somewhere else. So what we're trying to do is make sure that they're positioned correctly. And I'm saying that because it happened to me when I was working this hive not too long ago. Now let's see if we can get our last frame back in here, and then we'll just take it off and remove the queen excluder. We've had some great weather here in Illinois lately. I'll tell you what, it's been very nice. Right now, let me see what the temperature is now. 73 degrees Fahrenheit. That's pretty nice. Okay, so in order to take this off, it's probably going to be heavy because these frames are wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and they're full of nectar. I'm going to take this off, and by taking this off, it will give me a handle right here. There's a little small hive beetle, so I can put my fingers there. Let's find a finger hold up here. Oh yeah, one's built into the front here, so I can just pick it up that way. But I think it's going to be stuck together with propolis. So I'm going to be battling, trying to pick up the weight of it and free up the propolis from grabbing, because this hive is in the shade, and the propolis is, you can tell the propolis is really hard. It's really locked together because it got down in the 50s last night. All right, so let's see if we can start separating it. All righty, let's see. Is this piece of metal part of the top up here, you think?
Yeah, I don't have a clue about that.
Yeah, me neither. I'm gonna go with yeah, because here's a queen excluder. So that means we'll put it right there. Whew. I'll stay on the wood. Oh yeah. Get some smoke under there. Well, it kind of broke free on that side pretty good. I'll try to do the other side over here. There we go. Oh yeah. Stuck in the middle. There we go. See if I can get it to turn a little bit. Okay, it's ready for launching, I think. We always should remember to bring a deep box with us, Pat. We wouldn't have to set it all the way down to the ground, would we? All right, here we go. Let's take this baby off. Get ready back. I'm going to stand on this side. Get a better footing on here. Finger holds. Ooh, full of bees. Okay. Oh, it's not that bad. We'll just set it right here temporarily. All right. Now, what do we have here? A little bit of bee space that was off, and so what happened is it created a little bit of a bigger gap, and as a result, there's some burr comb, some stray comb between the upper Flow Hive Super and the queen excluder, and the bees are kind of eating that all up. But this is the queen excluder right here, and we're going to take that off for winter. A plastic queen excluder, and it's propolized, so we just keep pulling and pulling until we get it off. We'll shake some bees off. There we go. So queen excluder is off. By the way, if your hive has a queen excluder on for winter, I strongly suggest that you take it off. You don't want your queen to be down below the queen excluder and all the bees go up into your next honey super box maybe and be deserted, left behind by your bees. Yep. Boy, this is full of honey, that's full of honey, honey. It's almost like this whole box over here is nothing but honey. If you can get down in there, Pat, and look, you can kind of see, at least you can see the top of these frames, yeah, how much honey is capped over. So it looks like they have a lot of food on board for winter in their own brew box. So it's no need for us to get in there and take a look, but they look like they have a lot of stored honey in this top deep. 2 deeps, this is our top one. So now we're just going to put our honey super back on without the queen excluder and let them have that extra Flow Hive honey super for their winter. Okay, we got some Varroa sand strips we'll put on. And I like to put a little, bend it just right. Encourage you guys to please subscribe. I appreciate it so much. Subscribe, give me a thumbs up, and check out my live streams every Thursday night at 7 p.m. Central Time. We answer questions. We also have some giveaways. I want to see you at the live stream. Here's a link to the live stream. Hope you'll join me. Well, that's my plan for my Flow Hive this winter. I'm going to leave the honey super on. It's pretty full of nectar, and got some Varoxan strips in there to help control mites, keep our mite levels down going into winter. And we're going to monitor this hive. We've reduced the entrance, and robber bees are trying to get in, but we're not too worried they're going to make it. But time of the year where robbing can really be a challenge. Now, if you want to see a video where I show you how to use a robber screen, the importance of putting it on at the right time, check this video out right over here so this won't happen to your hive. See you guys over there.